Hey, everybody, and welcome to day 19 of the 31 Days of Indie Horror. I'm your host, Jonathan Moody, and today I have an awesome guest. She is the co-host of Frights of the Round Table with me, and she's doing this, and I'm sure I'll rope her into other videos as well. Please welcome Ana Xaden. How you doing, Ana?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing great.
Awesome.
So today we're going to talk about a movie that Ana has seen probably how many times have you seen this movie?
I own it on VHS, I own it on DVD, and I watch it every week.
Every week. All right. Well,
Almost. Yeah. Since October started, it's been weekly.
oh, okay, cool.
Yes.
Um, we're going to talk about the 2000, I think that's when it came out, about 2000 movie
Yeah.
Ginger Snaps. So Ginger Snaps was kind of a well, like I guess it's a werewolf movie, but it's a lot more than that actually. Um, it's a character
Oh, yeah.
study more or less of two females who are sisters. One's older than the other. They, the sister, the older, well, the younger sister actually looks up to the older sister a lot more. However, it's interesting because it's more of a story about like going through changes. It's kind of a coming of age werewolf movie for girls, and
Yeah.
it's interesting to kind of see that as a story. Like I love that because really when you become a werewolf you change, you know and for a female you go through changes through puberty. So that's this in a way this is a female teen wolf movie.
Yeah.
And Also the fact that I mean there's a little bit of comedy but it's not teen wolf. um However, they do play field hockey, I believe, right? Is that what they're playing on the field?
Oh, yeah. Field hockey. Yeah.
Uh,
That got
and
pretty brutal.
Yeah, which is really funny because I just don't see those two girls as being field hockey players. So I'm
No.
guessing that's a gym thing, maybe. Like they play field hockey in gym class.
Yeah.
I don't know. By the
They
way, this
tried that with us in high school. It didn't work because it was a bunch of skinny girls and we couldn't hit the ball anywhere. We had like the big girls attacking us. So I was like, no. When I saw that in the movie, I was like, oh, I wonder if this is going to turn out the way mine did.
did it.
It did. There were fights break out. And I was like, the teacher called off. He's like, we can't do this anymore. And
Right.
like, just like her teacher, go to the office, Bridget.
Yeah,
Go to the
exactly.
office, Ginger.
Well, this was I told Anna this before, but right before the show. But this is my first time watching it. It was my first time seeing it, and as a horror fanatic and a werewolf fanatic, I'm surprised it took me so long. It's just more or less of like there's just so much, there's so many movies out there, and I'd heard of Ginger Snaps, and so many people love it and talk about it. And Catherine Isabel is just amazing in it, and so is Emily
Yeah.
Perkins, who
Yeah.
I know from Supernatural, playing Becky on Supernatural. She's fantastic. I think if I had seen Ginger Snaps before, I would have a lot more like I would get so more giddy, seeing Emily as Becky. She's such a funny character in that show.
Yeah.
But she's so serious in this. It's kind of funny. Out of all the characters, like she's the most serious too. Like she's the one she has to carry the movie in a way, because even though a lot of people talk about Ginger herself, which is Catherine Isabel, really Emily Perkins is the main star of this, film.
Yeah.
I don't know if it switches in the sequels or anything, but like no.
The sequel, you remember in the last part of Ginger Snaps 1 where she cut her hand?
Mm-hmm.
what picks up after that on part 2.
Oh, okay.
It gets gnarly, man. You got to watch it.
I'll have
The
to check
third one
that out.
goes back to cowboy and Indian days, though, so it was really weird.
Yeah,
Like they got the muskets, they got the leeches, and you're like,
did it go back
okay,
in
I'll watch
time?
this. It was a whole bit different time, like cowboys and Indian day, the colonial days and stuff.
But how
So
are
they were like in these fancy dresses. I fell in love with the dresses.
but wait, was it the two people, Ginger and
Yeah, it's
Bridget?
still the same people. It's like a back history of their life. Of this happened way back in the day again. And then
Okay.
it happens to her again. It's like carried on through her destiny.
Oh, kind of
Yeah. So it's like a prequel.
like a past life kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Like this is who she always was, and each
Yeah.
time she kind of gets they kind of get brought into this world, they have to do. Oh, that's interesting. I kind of like that.
Yeah, it was really cool.
It's kind of a cool
Like the
idea.
first time I saw Ginger Snaps, it was at our video store that I was working at. And we had the VHS, and I was like, well, I've watched everything in the video store. I haven't watched this. I'll try this. Not knowing anything about it. I took it home and watched it. I went to the video store the next day and I was like, can I buy this? And they're like, that's our only copy. I was like, I will pay you whatever. So they were like, just give me $5 and you can have it. I was like, I'll take it. So after
Awesome.
that, my
You
mom was
still
like,
have that VHS copy?
yeah, my mom
Oh,
still has it at her house.
that's cute.
And that was in 2003. So
Oh wow.
I didn't see it for 3 years. But
Yeah.
then after that, I ordered it on DVD. And then I found out about the others and I ordered those. So I like had the whole set.
Yeah, that's
But I was
awesome.
like, I had a girl crush on Catherine Isabel.
Oh, I don't blame you, man. She is gorgeous.
When
Um,
she started changing, I was like, oh my God, I want to be that beautiful. I was
it's
like so amazed.
it's funny. I really discovered her in 2003 when they did Freddy versus Jason,
Oh, she was great
so
in that.
yeah, and then uh it was so funny and weird because it was such a kind of a different thing. I mean, she's only like a year older than me, so like,
Yeah, me
watching
too.
her, yeah, we're the same age. So it's like it's funny to see how like time, like her roles and everything. Like later on, she was in American Mary, which got her a
Oh
lot
my
more
gosh.
famous, and she's
That was a
done,
great movie too.
yeah, she's been in
Did you
Hannibal.
see Disturbing Behavior?
Oh my God, yes. I was actually going
She
to
was
mention
in
that
that.
too.
That was the first thing I ever saw her in. I was like, okay, who's this girl? Because I knew all the rest of the cast except for her, and she showed up and she did a good job. And I was like, I want to see her in more. And that's what drew me to Ginger Snaps was I saw she was in it, and I was like, let's give it a try. She was a good actress, so
Yeah.
I was not disappointed.
Well, that's interesting that you mentioned that because yeah, I saw Disturbing Behavior before,
Hmm.
obviously before I saw Freddy versus Jason.
Yeah,
But like I don't like watching that movie. I never caught her. Like I never like she was such a pivotal role, but a small one in the sense of like all the other big names. Like you always remember like Katie Holmes in that movie or Nick
yeah,
Stahl in that movie or whatever, but I don't really remember. Or I do now that I've seen that movie a million times.
yeah,
I do remember her in it and everything. And probably after Freddy versus Jason, I started noticing her in Disturbing Behavior and other films,
yeah,
that she's been in. She's such a great actress. I mean, period.
yeah. I follow
Um,
her on Instagram too. She's a great model as well. She does like the coolest photos. I'm like, man, she's living it.
I mean, yeah, I really admire her. Period. I watched this
Yeah.
interview. I watched this interview that she did, and she was, let's just say it was cute. It was this interview where she was at a comic convention, a Comic
Uh-huh.
Con, and she was just having fun with the guy there or whatever. But you could kind of tell the guy was a little nervous around her and stuff. So she was just having fun saying cute little things or whatever.
Mhm.
But she was so good. Like, she's played so many amazing roles, and
Yeah.
Ginger Snaps, at least Ginger seems to be like probably her most famous role that she's done.
Yeah, that and Mary.
Mary, yeah. So American
That
Mary,
made
which,
it big. That was
yeah.
big in the piercing industry, like
Oh,
the body
really?
mod industry. Yeah, in the tattoo world, it was huge. Everybody was bringing it to the tattoo shops to watch it. I was like, wow, okay,
Well, good
what
for
is
this.
this? And they showed it to me. I was like, oh wow, I'm hooked. I love her.
Well, good for the Soska twins who made that movie, because that's
Yeah,
awesome that they were able to go out and make something that, you know, like, she was talking about how people cosplay as her, you know,
yeah,
as American Mary, and stuff, and I think even as Ginger, probably. I mean, I think to have roles like that is just amazing, you know.
yeah. I dressed up as Ginger one year for Halloween.
Oh, that's
I
cute.
did the eyes like creased in and everything, so it looked like the werewolf eyes she had. Had
Oh,
the teeth. It
oh
was so much
God.
fun. I loved it.
Her teeth. Okay, so
Did
watching
you
this
see the
movie for
scene
the,
where they grew?
yeah, but like, what's so funny is that, like, if you watch the movie, her progression with her teeth, like, her mom didn't notice that she was talking like that with, like,
Right.
these teeth. Like, I could notice that. Like, if I were her
Well, they
mom, like,
didn't notice when she smiled either. Like she
right?
licked the corn syrup off and she smiled
I
and said,
know.
"Hi, Daddy, corn syrup. Want some?" And I'm like, "Can't you see her teeth? I
Yeah.
mean, they're all bloody now."
No, but see, the funny thing about that is, you would think, like, her dad and her mom, like, choked it up as, okay, they're doing their death thing that they always do,
Yeah.
Oh God, you know what I was hoping though? I was hoping is her dad was gonna say, okay, I'll have some, and take, like, the real blood and stuff. Oh my God, you
Oh
know?
man, that would have been bad.
Yeah, because he would have been like,
That's
that does
funny
not
because
taste like,
me and my brother-in-law were just talking about the fake blood flavors, and
right,
it's like corn syrup's the best fake blood ever. He's
right.
like, "Why?" I'm like, "Because it tastes good."
Yeah.
And that reminds me of her licking her hand off every time. I'm like, "Yeah."
Well,
Even when she beat up the girl, she licked the blood off her hand again. I was like, "Must be some good corn syrup."
mm-hmm. Yeah. So it was like one of those movies that's just, it's sort of like, you don't, especially if you've never seen this movie before in your life, you don't
Mhm.
know really what exactly is going to happen. I mean, I
Yeah.
knew Ginger was going to be attacked by the werewolf. I mean, that was inevitable. That was going to happen, right? That she was going to
Mhm.
turn into a werewolf. But I didn't know whether or not both of them would be werewolves. I didn't know, what was going to exactly happen. And I
Yeah.
I like the relationship between the two of them, that they were,
Yeah, it's great. They worked so well together.
I mean, they really did feel like sisters. And
Yeah.
I they looked enough alike where I could buy it. And both had the different personalities, and everything.
Yeah.
But I also really like the scene. I like the idea that you can pass it on through, like, sexual
Oh
transmitted
yeah.
stuff, and
It's running.
it's so fucked up. Like,
You know, that's the second werewolf movie I've seen that happened.
I'm sure there's more too. You
Probably.
know,
I guess it's a common thing. I mean, don't have sex with a werewolf.
what happens if a vampire has sex with a werewolf?
You end up with that thing from Underworld.
Yeah, like, right, like, there's a combination or something. I don't know.
Oh my
Um,
god, I just pictured it. It's really bad.
can werewolves and can
I
werewolves
picture
and
a vampire with a big goatee that just goes down to his chest.
I
Got
did
the ears.
I did laugh that, like, was it Ginger gets hair all over herself because of
Oh
turning
my
into the
god,
werewolf,
yeah.
and then she's talking to the guidance counselor, and the guidance counselor's just like, oh, that's just natural to have hair on your chest as a, like, a female. I'm like, really? That's part of puberty? I never knew that part, you know? Like
For
I
some
thought,
girls.
oh my goodness. Sorry, girls. Sorry, ladies with hair on their chest that have to shave it off. Oh.
Yeah, she was just like, yep, it comes with the territory. And it's like, what? No?
That doesn't come with everybody's territory, but
I would have hated to have talked to that woman as a student. I would
yeah,
have been like, I'll just go to my mom. I'm good.
she
I'll
did go to
figure it
her
out
mom
by book.
later, but that was just
Yeah.
to like basically, well, at least Bridget does go to her mom. She goes to it just to kind of keep things, you know, like keep her distracted, you know.
Yeah.
The mom got really excited, and I love that. I love that scene.
Oh my God, the cake.
Yeah, well, I love the scene with the mom getting so excited that they're finally talking to her about this stuff, and the dad's like,
Oh.
don't you think this is a like a ploy for them to like, you know, distract you or whatever? And she was like, oh, you're just mad because they're not coming to you, you know. And I just thought that was cute. That the mom, which okay, so you've seen the sequels. Is the mom and
Yeah.
dad aren't in the sequels?
Nope.
Okay.
It's just Bridget is there, and then Ginger is there in ghost form, kind of a hallucination.
No,
But they still interact new. Like everything's new. She's just like, she's really bitchy towards Bridget in the second one.
well, I think they made a mistake because they killed her off, you know.
Yeah.
So they shouldn't have done that. They should have had her, but they couldn't give her the cure. So they had to end it some way. You know, like
Yeah.
I get it. They had to end it some way. And I I honestly think like the werewolf movies typically go in a certain way where once the person forms into the werewolf, you know, they're just dangerous to be around when they turn into a werewolf, right? So
Yeah.
I
This one made it seem like they stay a werewolf. I think they
yeah.
do stay werewolves. Because in the second one, they stay werewolves. There's one werewolf chasing after Bridget.
Oh, that's
And
interesting.
then he stays a werewolf, but he was a pretty werewolf. Ginger's werewolf was ugly.
I know.
But Bridget's werewolf is pretty. So they changed up the werewolf in the second movie.
Interesting. I'll have to watch it at some point because
Yeah, it's
I would
really
love
watch
to
worthy.
I would love
It's
to
got
see
a
that.
weird scene in there that I'm not going to tell you about it, but when you hit it, you're going to be like, okay, see it now.
There's I'm sure there's a lot of moments like that, and that's a great thing about
Yeah.
me not watching these until now is because now then I can watch them, I can be like, this wasn't actually that bad, you know, or whatever, you know,
Yeah.
like
You can appreciate it now.
yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm a huge werewolf like fanatic. Like I do love like they're probably one of my favorites, but they're like one of the hardest ones to do because you have to do really good makeup or it's gonna look cheesy. So
Yeah.
if you're gonna have people wolf out, they're gonna have to look decent, you know.
Yeah.
And
It's got to
I
be believable.
but I'm more of a like a Wolfman fan
Yeah, I
than
like
I
that
am.
look.
Yeah, like when they just grow hair and they have the fangs and
Yeah.
everything, but they're not like an actual wolf. Because when they
Yeah.
like American Werewolf in London was the first one to do that, I think.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Like
That was the first
that
one I saw it in.
or no. Maybe the Howling. The Howling may have been. But like
Which one came out first?
that's a good question. Let me look that up. But they were both done by Rick Baker back then.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if Rick did the monster. Okay, 1981 was the Howling. I think American Werewolf was after. But it could have
Okay.
been. Hold on, let me find out.
Yeah, I think it was like 82 or 83, wasn't it?
Same year. Holy crap!
Yeah. Huh,
Okay,
so they released 2 werewolf movies in 1 year.
that were both like 1981. That's incredible. Let me see. I think Rick Baker did the effects for both of them. And he did the
Nice.
Wolfman, the new Wolfman, which
Okay. Was that the one? Who was in that? Benicio del Toro?
yeah, Benicio del Toro, which I
did
never
see that one.
yeah. Hold on.
Okay. I wasn't a big fan of it, but I didn't realize how big of a fan of werewolves I was till last week when I looked at my DVDs. I've got like tons of werewolf movies. And I was like, I don't even like werewolves. Why do I have all these? So I started watching them and I was like, these are really good. Now I know why I bought them. But I used to buy movies when I was bored just to watch stuff. And then half of them I never got to watch, like the werewolf movies, like Curse. I had Curse for 15 years or 10 years. Never watched it till like a few weeks ago.
That whole production was cursed.
Yeah, that
They
was
had
funny.
they had
That was
some
a
serious
hilarious movie.
bits. They had some issues with the making of that
Oh,
movie.
yeah? Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
They actually shot. I don't know if they shot the whole thing, but they shot a good amount of something else and had to reshoot everything with a
Oh, no.
completely new cast. You know.
Wow.
But the special makeup effects was done by Rick Baker for that one too. I
Oh,
want to see
cool.
who did the ones for Ginger Snaps because like Ginger was pretty cool looking.
Yeah.
She wasn't. I
Like it
think
first started with her hair, then it went to her hair a little more, and then her teeth, and then her eyes. Once they did the eyes, I was like, that is my Halloween costume. I was like, I totally need to do that.
okay. So Paul Jones did the special makeup effects. Oh
Cool.
wow. I've never heard of him, but he's worked on like Highlander 2 and after Ginger Snaps because he did the creature effects for that. So
Ah.
then he did Never Cry Werewolf, Eye of the Beast, and that's interesting because I didn't think I thought Eye of the Beast was a oh, that's animatronic too. Now I need to see that movie.
I've never
Uh
seen it.
yeah, and then the newest thing he did the puppet effects for What We Do in the Shadows, the TV show. So
Oh, I
there's
haven't seen that either.
I've
I
heard
haven't heard
really
of that.
I've heard really good things. I think it's on
Yeah?
Hulu, I want to say.
Oh, man. We don't get Hulu in Mexico.
What?
Yeah, we don't get Hulu or Vudu. I'm like, there was so much I wanted to watch.
Do you get Netflix?
Yeah, we still get Netflix.
Okay, Amazon Prime. I'm guessing you get Amazon. You get every.
They do have an Amazon here. I'm not sure about Prime though. I'll have to
Oh,
ask my husband because he actually got a job for working for the call center of Amazon for like a few weeks. And
nice.
then he got, you know how people call in and they're angry, they
You're
give you a
right.
bad review. Well, they gave him a few bad reviews and they're like, you got to go. I was like, but did you have more positive than negative? He's like, yeah. It's like, they're stupid. He was like,
Well,
Amazon is very hard to work for. So I'll have to
uh,
ask him if they have Amazon Prime here because he would know.
yeah, that's kind of sucky because if you look at their reviews for their films and everything, anybody can write a
Mhm.
review. Like
Yeah.
even some people write reviews before they even see the movie. So like
Yep.
even before the movies even come out, they just will write a review. There's this guy that writes like reviews on indie films and Hollywood films, both, and he'll
Hmm.
give it like 1 star or 5 stars. There's no like 3 stars or 4 stars. Like this dude will only and
Wow.
he'll say junk movie or this or good movie or great movie, whatever, right? But he won't ever give like, you know, it's ridiculous. We have to he has
Wow.
to be some kind of troll. But like
Yeah,
I don't get it. Like why waste your time doing that? You know,
exactly.
unless he's getting paid to do that, then you know,
He may be. You
yeah.
never know.
But
I'll get paid to go get bad reviews.
I know
No, I
somebody would
feel
pay.
bad.
No, I
I
wouldn't.
would feel bad if I gave bad reviews to
I
everybody.
I wouldn't because it doesn't, especially just saying junk movie, that does not
Yeah.
hurt my feelings at all, you know, because like the dude didn't have time to really like sit down and actually like if somebody really reviewed my movie and said, you know, these are what I thought, blah 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 blah. Those are the reviews. And sometimes it hurts when they write those things, but
Yeah.
honestly, you have to think about it. It doesn't really matter in that like the grand scheme of life, you know. Nobody's gonna not hire you because they saw a bad review of your film, you know.
Yeah.
So it's not,
True.
you know.
Unless all the reviews were bad. Then they may be like, okay, all the reviews are bad, so maybe we
Well,
should check
no,
this
but
out ourselves.
there's so many movies out there, just people don't even care. They don't
Yeah,
look at the reviews because, as long as you made a movie, a lot of people just don't care because then they're like, okay, well, I trust him, then he'll make another one, you know.
yeah.
But yeah, so to get back to Ginger Snaps, I've been, I mean, honestly, I could say I really, really enjoyed it. I love, I love the actors. I mean, even the mother, played by Mimi Rogers, I think is her name.
Yeah, Mimi Rogers.
Oh my God. I always remember her as Miss Kensington or whatever from Austin Powers. You know,
Yes.
so it was really funny to like always see her and stuff randomly. Because I always just think of her in Austin Powers or
Mhm.
all those movies from like the 90s and whatnot.
Yeah.
And so it's
She
really
was
nice.
popular back then.
Yeah. There was a lot of really great actors that kind of popped in and popped out of movies back then, and she was one of
Yeah.
them. I enjoyed
Yeah.
her.
She did a great job as the mom. Like she was just like so cheery. I was like, wow, okay. This is the type of mom I would go nuts if I had. My mom's kind of like that, but not to the point of where she's like, go push your sister. She's like, go push your sister. So this
You-
mom was like, be nice to each other, love each other, have your period.
so you want to hear a funny, cool story? So,
Yes.
I just realized today, or no, I think it was last night when I was doing some research on this. Jesse Moss, who played Jason, and
Mhm.
Chris Lemche, yeah, however you say it, Lemch, who played Sam,
Mhm.
from Ginger Dead Man, or not Ginger Snaps. Ginger Dead Man is a completely different movie. I always got that. Whenever I see Ginger, that's always usually followed by Dead Man. Um, but no, those both guys were in Final Destination 3,
Oh yeah, they
and
were.
here's
I
an
forgot about that.
so here's another tie-in with Final Destination 3. So they were in Final Destination 3 and they're both with Shalon Simmons, who was in that movie,
Mhm.
right? Shalon Simmons was also in the original It, playing the
What?
little bicycle girl that gets taken away by Pennywise or whatever,
Uh-huh.
right? She was in the original It with Emily Perkins. Okay,
Wow.
so wait, there's even more. There's even one more tie-in. The was it? I think what was it? Which one was it? I guess it was Jesse Moss was also in Tucker and Dale versus Evil
Yes, I
with
was about to say that. It was hilarious. He was like the hillbilly.
right with Shalon Simmons, who was in Final Destination 3 with him. So like all kind of I feel like a
So
lot of
many links.
yeah, there's so many links like it was a 7 degrees of like Canada or something because these
Yeah.
are all Canadian actors, by the way. Like
Yeah, they are.
and which is great. I think it was. I bet Ginger Snaps was filmed in Canada, and
Mhm.
I mean, I can hear it in their accents sometimes. Because I've watched enough Degrassi to hear like
Yeah.
to hear the accents every now and then. I'll hear like a boot and whatever you want to say. Um, so it's really
Okie
funny,
doke.
right? And they're just so they're fantastic. I love their accents. Like it's just so cute. I think Catherine
We used to have
Isabel.
people come to New York from Canada all the time, like actors and everything, and they had the nicest personalities. I
Hmm.
was like, why can't Americans be this nice in New York? I was like, you people are pleasant. Stay here.
Stay here.
I actually
Um,
have one stay for an hour talking to me from Canada. She was like so cool. She was a model coming down to model in one of the runway shows. And she
right.
was telling me all about Canada. I was like, can I go back with you? I'm just like, come on, let's go. It's like, I don't have a
That's
passport. She's like, you
cute.
need that.
Yeah, you need a
But
passport, and
Canadians are really cool people, man.
yeah, they're really. I mean, I know a lot of Canadians, and like a lot of them are just very sweet down to earth, like,
Yeah.
and but don't get me wrong. I mean, they got, they'll fight if they need to.
Yeah.
They're not all just sweet, you know.
Exactly. No,
But
they know how to throw down, that's for sure. I've seen it in New York. There was actually a group that got into a fight with some people and they beat the crap out of them. I was like, go Canada. Beat up the New Yorker.
yeah. So another thing is that
Mhm.
both Catherine Isabel and Emily Perkins have both been on the TV show Supernatural, which shoots in Canada. That's probably why. Catherine Isabel was in the second season, and Emily didn't appear till the fifth season, I want to say. And
Oh, she came in late.
yeah, well, I mean, her character was in it more than Catherine's. Catherine was only in it for 2 episodes. Uh,
Oh,
you know, both. I mean, I adored both of those characters and everything, and I just love that they both were together. Were in Ginger. God damn it! I keep saying it the wrong way. Ginger snaps. I'm just not
about
gonna.
to be the gingerbread man again.
I know. Yeah, I was about to say it literally again. I stopped myself. Um, but anyway, yeah. So it's really interesting. I was hoping that the other characters like Jesse, Jesse who played Jason, or Chris who played Sam would had done Supernatural or something too. But
Yeah.
no, I mean, it was just cool that a lot of these people were in it, and I'm wondering if Emily got it because of Ginger Snaps, because of the fame for that, and everything.
Maybe.
I think Catherine at that time had already been on like Freddy versus Jason, and
Yeah.
like she had already gotten her claim to fame for
When
other
did that
things.
one come out?
2003.
Okay, so it was when I was working at the video store too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I remember renting it when it first came out on DVD, but I
Mm-hmm.
didn't remember if I was working there already or not, but I loved it. I
I
thought it was
remember
hilarious.
going to the theater to watch it.
What? They didn't have it in the theater in Mississippi.
Really?
Nowhere. Yeah, they didn't put it up. They waited till it went to video.
We
So I was like, why?
well, I remember. I mean, that's a big movie too, so that's weird.
Yeah.
I remember seeing Jason X in the theater, and I watched that twice, and then
Wow.
I was so excited for Freddy versus Jason, because at that time that Jason X came out, that was 2001. I was 19
Mhm.
at the time, and
Mhm.
so I was super excited because it was like the first time watching a Jason movie in the theater.
Nice.
Like I feel like Jason X gets a bad rap a lot of times,
It does.
I feel like it's a lot better than what people, it's a lot more fun. And Freddy versus Jason, I mean, that's just balls to the wall fun.
Yeah. Oh my God. I watched that with my mom. I was so scared to watch it because I know Freddie always has bad words coming. And
Oh yeah.
there's always sex. So I was like, oh, my mom's watching this. What if something shows up and I don't know? So the
Actually,
first FU to come out, I was like, oh, my mom's going to turn it off. She's like, I went to the DVD player. I went to push a button. She's like, leave it. I want to see what happens. I was like, okay, we'll do this. So
she watched the whole
enjoyed
thing.
it. She watched the whole thing. She loved the part where Freddie and Jason were fighting at first, where he's like sending him across the room in the showers, or where the water's falling and he's like controlling them in the dream.
Yeah.
Yeah, she loved that. She was laughing so
I'm
hard.
surprised I never had
She
my
watched
dad.
Ginger Snaps with me. She loved Ginger Snaps.
Well, I mean, yeah, the Ginger
But
Snaps.
they said the F word a lot in Ginger Snaps.
Oh, they did,
She
yeah.
hates that word. Yeah, she hates that word. But she was like, that was a good movie. She's like, when can we watch this again? I was like, whenever you want, I got it.
Well, that's
Like
fun.
her favorite part was how close the sisters were, even at
Yeah.
the end when Ginger turns on her and tries to kill her. She's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, she still loves her." It's like what?
I mean,
So my
yeah.
mom like took the sisterly love, and she was like, "I like this movie." I was like, "You take that from a bunch of carcasses?"
I mean, well,
So
no, I mean, it starts out like that. I mean, from the very beginning, you sort of see this like relationship, and then when she turns into a werewolf or starts turning, and everything, not into the actual werewolf, but just starting the turns,
yeah,
you can sort of see their like separation, you know,
yeah.
and I was sort of
But
like,
you can still see that Bridget cares because she's still trying to get the cure.
right, she's trying to get the cure, and at one point, there's that point where Catherine is going with Jason into the car, and right, and she's like, I've got something to say to you, and she was like, is it sorry, right, and she's like, no, right, and she gets in the car and and leaves or whatever, but you can sort of see that like they were doing, like things were sort of starting to like drift apart, just like
Yeah,
it felt real. It felt like how sisters actually would if they were going,
yeah.
going through whatever they were going through. Um, the sad things that I was like, I did not like seeing so many dead dogs. I'm a
I
dog
know I
lover,
hated that part. The
but
best part was they made the dogs look fake as they could be. That
yeah,
was my only saving point. If it looked like a real dog, I would have been like, I hate this movie.
yeah.
Like I still can't watch John Wick because they
Oh,
killed the dog. I know it's coming and I walk away and I'm like, I'm not watching this. And
I
everybody's like, it's just a dog. And I was like, you don't know me and dogs, man.
I
It's
know.
like
Oh,
they made the dogs look fake, so I was able to tolerate it. But there were a lot
right.
of dead dogs. And then
Yeah.
when she killed Baxter, I was like, not Baxter, the little dog next
Yeah, the
door.
little dog that just
I
kept
was like,
barking.
no, he was so little. Yeah, she's like, he just kept barking and barking and barking, and it just couldn't take it anymore.
Um, yeah, like, okay, so you've seen this movie a bunch of times. The only
Yeah.
question I've had is, okay, so the mom picks her up to help
Hmm.
her or something, right? Or whatever. Picks Bridget up. And
Hmm.
what's her name's at the party? Ginger's at
Ginger.
the party with
Hmm.
Sam. And basically she's trying to get it on with Sam or
Yeah.
whatever at that point. Just to, I don't know, maybe get revenge on her sister or whatever. She's, like she's just being, you know, a bitch at that particular moment.
Yeah.
But what happened to the mom? Did mom just drop her off and then drive off?
As far as I know, she was still sitting in the car waiting on her. She was supposed to go get her go get Ginger and bring her back to the car, but she never went back. They just went out the back exit.
They went to the
She went
back
into the
exit.
party. She actually went into the party to look for Bridget and Ginger. Do you remember
Oh,
that part?
no, I don't
Yeah,
remember
she
that part.
actually was like walking with the fingers in the Tupperware
Oh, wow. That's funny.
through the party
Um,
like this. Oh, oh, oh. It's like
yeah, I
that.
don't remember that, but that's,
Dodgy people.
I gotta see. The funny thing is, like, I mean, watching it last night for the first time, there's probably things I didn't pick up the first time that I'll pick up the next time that I watch
Yeah.
it. And
The more you watch, the more you catch. It's one
yeah,
of those movies.
yeah, which is
How did you
good.
like the opening scene with the death pictures?
Oh yeah, that's pretty cool.
I love that. That's my stuff I love to do.
Yeah, the fake death
So when I
scenes.
saw that, I was like, oh my God, more people do that. I'm not weird. And then my mom's like, you're weird.
Yeah,
She's like,
you
you're
are
very
weird.
weird.
They're weird too, but it's
Like,
okay.
they're doing it. I was like, they're famous and they're doing it. She's like, one of them turns into a werewolf. That's not normal.
Yeah,
It's like, okay. But
yeah.
I love the photos that they made and the opening song. The music of the movie, it had some good music. Had
Mhm.
like Fear Factory in there when she beat up the girl, Trina Sinclair. Had
Oh yeah.
Raised in Black when she comes into the party and she takes her hood off and she's just like walking through, taking the beer, all of that. It's like that was a beautiful scene too. I loved it.
I definitely want to rewatch this. at some point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and maybe one day I'll just do like a trilogy marathon thing where I watch all three of them back to back. You know,
You should.
it feels like a movie I could definitely do that in.
Yeah.
But it's also a movie I feel like I could watch by myself as opposed to like having to have to watch it with a group, you know,
Yeah.
and which is nice because there's some movies that it's better to watch with the group. Now I'm not saying this wouldn't be fun to watch with the group, but
Yeah.
you don't have to. There are some movies that
No.
I feel like you have to because they're either like bad or or you just keep wanting to like show people this. So I
Yeah.
I recommend
I
it.
watch it by myself all the time.
Yeah, I definitely recommend it. I think you recommend it for sure.
Oh,
Um,
totally. I actually got my husband to watch it for the first time last week.
oh wow.
So we watched it last week. So, but he had never seen it, and he's like, "I know you rave about this movie, so let's watch it." He actually
Oh,
liked it.
see,
Yeah.
that's what I want.
He's like, I hear you
Why?
talk about it all the time. So he's like, let's watch it for once. And I was like, let's do that. So
I,
we're like sitting there eating food while watching it, having our snacks. And he was like, this movie's about a period. I was like, no, it's about werewolves. And he's like, but they're talking about a period. So
right.
he wanted to give up right then. I was like, it goes deeper. Just keep watching.
I know. Like I can get it where some guys just might not be like, wanting to see that stuff, but like I mean this shit is stuff that you guys have to deal with like all the time. Period.
Exactly.
And you had to
Yep.
deal with that you know probably a little later than they did. I mean, they started their stuff like late, and I
Yeah.
feel like which was it was Ginger who started it, so
Yeah.
and
And then the mom was telling Bridget she was going to get hers soon, so don't worry. Your day's coming.
I know they're like,
I'm
yeah,
glad my mom wasn't like that with mine. My mom's like, "Oh, you're bleeding? That's normal. I'll be
yeah,
back." It's like, what do I do? I'm dying. She's like, "You're not dying. You'll live." I thought I was dying because I didn't get to talk. Nothing. If I would have seen ginger snaps, I at least would have had a little clue.
see, there you go. Maybe this is really good for like teenage girls to watch
I think
because
so.
like
I
it's
think you should show it to a 12-year-old because it usually hits around 12 or 13. So show them that movie and be like, now
maybe
you're prepared.
13.
I
I
was
mean,
13. Yeah.
it is it is an R-rated movie. You might not want to show it to like a 12-year-old or whatever.
That's true. Well, I would have watched it, but I was watching Freddie at 5, so I
yeah.
love Freddie. I was like, Uncle Freddie.
Uncle. Oh, speaking of which, let me show you something.
Okay.
This is gonna be if I can grab it. This is something. Aha!
No way. A bobblehead.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
Like watch.
What? Where
He
did you
doesn't.
find that?
He doesn't actually bobble unless it's like really like light on him. There's like
Oh,
rays on him or
nice.
something. Then he bobbles.
That's
Found it
cool.
at Big Lots.
Nice. Big Lots. What?
Yeah. So
They sell stuff like that?
tomorrow we're recording. Yeah, apparently for Halloween. So tomorrow we're doing a Nightmare on Elm Street episode of 80s horror movies. I think you know about that because I think you were one of the people that voted for Nightmare on Elm Street, which because we did a vote for it, and everybody voted that. Which I was like, I shouldn't have asked for that movie because it's too popular. And it's too, it's so popular that so many people have done podcasts on it. So from now on, we're gonna try to stick to more obscure, 80s horror films, or whatever.
Nice.
But it's gonna be kind of fun. We're recording that, and my friend Mackenzie has never seen that movie, or had never seen that movie until recently. So she came over and watched it, and she's going to be on the show tomorrow talking about her feelings on it. So
awesome.
And I was going to give that to her, this to her then, because that's, so I guess I'll have to wait till I see her again.
What's funny is my husband just drew his hand, the glove, for a tattoo.
Oh, cool. Hold on one second.
Yeah. No way.
Yeah.
Yes.
You mean this?
Yes.
So
That's
my
awesome.
my roommate was dropping, taking the dogs out, and by the trash, sometimes people leave kind of cool stuff or whatever that they just leave it out. They don't put it in the trash. They just leave it out for people to collect. And this was actually in a box.
That
So,
is awesome.
so she
Just
picked it.
find ever.
She picked it up and was like, "Do you want this?" I was like, "Oh yeah, I'll. I'm gonna keep this one. This thing."
Yeah.
But yeah. So there you go. Some
That's
little,
awesome. I love
yeah.
it.
It looks sharp too. Like
It
it
really
looks.
does.
It
From
almost
here, it
looks.
looks real. Is
Yeah.
it plastic?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I
Huh.
don't really know what
It
it is.
looks real from here.
Yeah. Well, which is good. I mean, when you shoot stuff, you want it to look real.
Oh my God. Could you imagine somebody breaks into your house and you go attack them with that? And they actually leave?
I'll have to. So last night while I was watching Ginger Snaps,
Uh-huh.
I was watching it late at night. It was like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning. That I was trying to finish it up before I went to bed, and the dogs started barking, and they ran off, and I was the only one in the house, right? So they
Mm-mm.
ran off to the door, and I was like, I didn't hear a knock or anything, so I didn't. So I went out to the door, and I guess somebody had knocked on it at 2 o'clock in the morning,
Oh,
and
weird.
yeah, so and they were there outside, standing outside. I did not open the door. I did not let them in. And it was like I want to say it was a woman, but I couldn't tell because they're a little too far away. But I could tell it was somebody there, and it
Hmm.
was really creepy. So I'm very glad I did not open the door because who knows who that could have been. And
That could have been a serial killer, a
or
door-to-door serial killer.
I don't know, sex trafficker.
That's
Could have been anybody
yeah,
these days.
that's how my brain goes. I'm like, they're serial killers. Keep the
Yeah,
door closed.
yeah. Don't open. I mean,
No, I remember in California, I had somebody knock on my hotel room window, and they kept
oh
screaming, let me in." And I was like, no,
no,
I don't know you. And she's like, "Let me in." And I was like, "No." She's like, "Let me in, bitch." I was like, "No." So excuse the B word, but
no, it's
she
fine.
started like flipping out, wailing on the door. I had to call the main people. They said it was some homeless lady that comes and harasses people and robs them. I was like, "Y'all don't have security to keep this woman out?" She's like, "No, because most people open the doors and she robs them. You were smart."
Yeah,
I was like,
Jesus
"Yeah, I'm not
Christ.
opening the door for some crackheaded looking woman."
Yeah, that probably would have been the case here. I mean, I bet that person would have tried to rob me,
Yeah,
or whatever.
they do door-to-door robberies and all over.
Yeah, and I'm in
Like,
LA, so I'm not surprised. But
yeah, never be shot by anything in LA.
nope, not even. You saw my thing on my windshield, right? Somebody put a like club on my
Yeah,
windshield.
that was creepy, man.
I know,
I'm
very
like, who
creepy.
did this?
Ugh.
Makes you want to set up a little recorder in your car just to see if it happens again.
No, I mean, if it happens
Can you
again,
imagine next time it's a sock?
I don't. Honestly, I don't even care. I mean, hell, they can. I mean, whatever. Like,
As long as
as
they're
long,
not damaging your car, let them leave
yeah,
whenever.
or as long as they don't steal shit out of my car, like
Yeah.
break the windows and steal shit out of my car. I don't care what they do. And even though, I mean, right now I have nothing that they'll want in my car. All my shit's in my house, so I don't even care. But anyway, that's I guess that's it. Thank you for this. This is awesome. Stick around after we're done. I'll chat with you a little bit more.
Okay.
But thank you so much. And thank you everybody for watching this.
Yes, thank you.
Join me tomorrow for another exciting day. I mean, we're hoping to have as many. I've got so many. I mean, we got 31 days to do, so it's only the 19th day or whatever. So, I mean, just get ready. There's going to be more, and hopefully some. I mean, I'm trying to pick movies that, each one's sort of different from the next. So we'll see how things go. If people are really, really, people seem to enjoy this series, and I'm getting a lot more subscribers because of it. So if you like this, what you're seeing, what you're hearing, please subscribe. Check below, and also check out all the links below, where we'll list all the websites and other stuff to check out. And check out the coolest thing is that Anna and I will be back for Frights of the Round Table in January. So we're super excited about that. It's going to be
super excited.
I know. January is going to be a busy month too. So I may have to start doing everything in December to start having it, because January is already going to be a busy month with me filming and stuff. So there you go.
Nice. Good to be busy.
Yeah, better than not being busy at all.
Yeah.
It could be worse, for sure. All right. Well, thank you so much for checking this out, everybody, and thank you, Anna, for coming on, and
yes, thank you for having me.
And check us out tomorrow. Bye.
Bye-bye.